Once upon a time, this place used to be a car wash. You'd bring your car in and it would get sapped with all kinds of soap and wax and hot water. There's still water, but now that water is being used for a much better purpose. That water has turned into some of the most delicious beer in the Midwest. This is the Bent River Brewing Company. Since the early 90s, beer fans have been buzzing about Bent River Brewing. From their crisp and light Mississippi Blonde to the hearty Uncommon Stout, this crafty paradise has been cranking out flavors Quad Cityans can't get enough of. Now with a second location in Rock Island and a busy production line, we're diving into the past to see how it all got started. And we are here at Bent River, Rock Island with a man who is one part George Washington, one part Willy Wonka, all part living legend. Tim Coster from Bent River is joining us. Tim, I meant every word I just said.
Swell.
You're really kind of the mad genius behind all this. And I know you're going to do the, well, there's a lot of people involved, but really, it's all you, isn't it, Tim?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, right. So tell me, how does this get started? How do you have an idea and write it down on a napkin or however you got started, and it becomes, many years later, all of this? Walk me through that.
In the beginning, basically, a friend of mine went to a homebrew club meeting. We were contemplating making our own beer. That would be cool. Have these beers that, just blew us away. We had no idea that beer had that much flavor or difference or anything. So, in a short period of time, after that meeting, we basically were going to start making our own beer. So we tried to get some supplies to make the beer. There was a gentleman that belonged to the club called Muggs, a local homebrew club, who sold supplies. So we got some supplies from him, and we started making our own beer, and he was kind of very hard to get a hold of and not very reliable and didn't have what you wanted and stuff like that. So I took it upon myself to get a license and start selling.
So completely out of necessity.
So I started selling beer supplies out of my basement. And I live out in the country, let's say, a ways away. So it was kind of an issue for people to come to my house and buy supplies. So I shored up with a partner, and we started selling supplies out of his house, which was in Moline. And he became much more busier than me, simply because more people were able to get supplies at his house.
Right.
And then shortly after that, both of our wives said, this ain't gonna happen no more.
Just too much. There's too much stuff going on in the house.
Too much traffic. And the building that I bought housed my homebrew shop on one side, and Moline Beauty School on the other side.
So it's walk me through this. All right, walk me through this. Homebrew supplies / beauty shop. This is where Bent River starts.
That's the building. That was purchased,
right. You're not selling beauty supplies, no. Although I would make this argument, this Bent River beer, it's a beauty supply. Oh. Don't kid yourself. Oh.
And
I already feel prettier. So you've got the shop, you're sharing space with a beauty supply.
Yes.
Or beauty shop.
Beauty shop.
Okay.
But he's going out of business. That's why he's selling the building.
Okay, makes sense.
So I purchased the building. I offered the gentleman that was looking for a place to put the brewery half the building for part of the stock.
Okay.
In the business.
Okay.
In Bent River.
All right.
And at that time, I had no intention on being a brewer or nothing. I was going to have my own brew shop, and he was going to have what he wanted.
Right.
A place for his brewery.
Right.
And I would help him with supplies, and it was a relationship that we built that way. And I owned stock in the brewery, so
I know how
that was kind of cool too.
I know how the story ends because I'm a big fan. Mm-hmm. But at the time, this seems like an incredibly foolish idea. Am I wrong? I mean, did people tell you you're nuts?
Logistically, after we got into the project of really gutting the beauty school and figuring out where things were going to go and how things were going to happen, and
right?
How stuff had to go down the basement and come out of the basement and all that stuff.
There's something wrong with all of you thinking this is going to work out.
It's a terrible
bad idea. I mean, on paper and everything, this is a terrible idea.
Yep. Yes.
Now, gutting this place and making it into Bent River.
Yep. Gutting it, doing as much work as we can ourselves. At the time, we were like the We were like the 4th startup brewery in the Quad Cities. So there were some before us.
Right.
First in Moline, and they were uncertain about that. And the state of Illinois was really kind of, at that time.
Because this is before the craft beer, home beer revolution where we take for granted the world we live in now. Back then, they're looking at you like you're a couple of maniacs making rot gut in a bathtub, right?
We were viewed that way.
Right.
And we had personality and character and
Well, yeah.
reputation.
You're all
right.
slightly insane to
Right.
begin with. You're all a little unhinged. You have this crazy idea, and you're asking a government to say, yeah, that's okay.
Yep.
They did eventually, obviously.
They did eventually, obviously, when they found out that they get a piece of the pie and
Right.
everything's
It's
good.
funny how that works.
I know.
You've got everything built and you're ready to go. You're ready to start making beer.
Mm-hmm.
Who gets to make the beer? Who's going to be the one in charge of that?
That wasn't me in the beginning.
Really?
No, the customer that I had that started Bent River basically had somebody else in mind. That person fell out of grace, and I was just the next most logical person to step in there. Yeah.
Really?
As far as brewing, yeah.
So there's a lot of this story where you're just kind of the guy.
Yep. Yeah. There's a lot of
I mean, you're just kind of Tim. You're just
mythy stuff out there.
right. So you're just kind of, a lot of it is just right place, right time kind of stuff.
Yep. Falling in.
Just all fate. Because I would have assumed you were born with a silver growler in your crib. This just all kind of sort of comes together naturally and organically.
Yes.
Wow.
Very much so.
Wow, that's great. Next on Brewed, it's all about the tastes. The beers that got it all started and the one that launched them to all new heights. First beer that you make is
A pale ale.
pale ale. Is it still available? Is it
Still available.
Is that the paddle wheel or? So the paddle wheel is the first beer you guys make
Right.
as Bent River.
As Bent River.
Describe that for me. Why do you start there?
When we got the equipment, the people that we bought the equipment from come out, install the equipment, give you some basic recipes to work with, and then you take that and you, knowing what I know from the business, kind of tweak it around. You just don't want to make, a recipe that somebody hands to you.
Right.
You want to put your stamp on it. So
Right.
For our dark beer, we want to have a dark beer. Every craft brewery has a stout or something along those lines. So we came up with our oatmeal stout, which was a sweeter stout, not a dry stout like a Guinness, but more of a sweeter tasting stout. Came up with a introductory beer for people that maybe haven't had craft brewed beers before. So we came up with a very light beer that we called our blonde. So if somebody come in and said, I want something like Miller Lite or Bud Light, that would be as close as we could get to it.
How important is that for the beer to be accessible? Because I think there are people who shy away from craft beers because it's a lot to take in at once. There's a lot of information that you have to get, and it can be intimidating. How important is that to you at Bent River to have it be? To have something that you can say to somebody if you like sort of the mass-produced beers. This is a way to kind of get in, a gateway beer, if you will.
A gateway beer,
right?
Business-wise, makes a lot of sense. The truth is, your light beer, like our blonde and stuff, are more difficult to make for a craft brewery because there's nothing there to hide any type of small mistakes that you might make in the process. A light beer like that is very difficult to make and have it taste clean and good. Uncommon originally came up with our general manager many years ago in Moline. Came up with the concept of adding coffee to the beer.
I remember when Uncommon Stout first came out, that was kind of nuts.
We looked into it. We thought we may have been the first brewery to actually come up with that concept, but I believe we were beaten out by one or two bigger craft breweries out west.
It's first I think any of us ever heard of it, though.
First any of us ever heard of it.
Right.
And we were getting coffee from various places when we were making this coffee beer. and there was a little market in Davenport called the Uncommon Market.
Okay.
If you remember that, it's been closed for quite some time, but it was just a little market that we would go in and they'd sell our beer in bottles there back in the day. And we would get coffee from them, and we struck a deal with,
So
we'd use your coffee and call it Uncommon Stout and let people know that that's where the coffee came from.
It's a great name. So even though Uncommon Market doesn't exist anymore, you can still get Uncommon Stout.
Yes.
That's beautiful. So that's a legacy right there.
It's why we're here. I mean,
The Uncommon Stout, is this the beer that built all of this place?
this is the beer that built Rock Island.
No
Sure.
kidding. No kidding. It's kind of nuts that 20-some years ago, you're going to Muggs Club, and now here we are at the Rock Island location. There's the Moline location in Bent River. So you have the expansion. How many total different beers has Bent River made in all this time, different lines?
Between 20 and 30.
Between 20 and 30 different beers.
Yeah, some one-offs, some
Right. You do things that are just kind of seasonal or one-off
Seasonal thing.
experiments that you kind of
Right.
go with. Right. And if it works, you keep bringing it back. You have stuff you do
to a
only once
point. I
year.
mean, we're getting limited because there's a couple of our products that are in such demand that this facility is getting maxed out.
Okay, Tim, so we are behind the scenes here with an exclusive look at how things happen. Tell me about this beautiful, giant thing.
This is the brew kettle. This is where the actual boil takes place, where hops are added.
Okay.
It's the last in a line of these other kettles down here. The process really starts down at this end with a mill. The grain comes out of the silo into a mill, goes into a mash tun, goes into a lauter tun, and this is the last step where the boiling takes place, the cooking, the hot side we're on. And from this vessel here, the hops are added. They add the aroma and the spice to the beer. A little bit of preservative qualities come from hops.
How hot is it in there? We're in the hot side. How
We're
hot is
boiling.
it? In there? Boiling.
Right. This kettle is boiling. These other kettles processes at lower temperatures for the mash and stuff. But this gets up to a rolling boil,
Which means?
which is fitting out of the top. Which means the action to get the bitterness out of the hops is heat and movement.
Okay.
So you got to have that heat going on to break down the lupin glands to get that bitterness out, and you also have them rolling around and moving.
Once you've got it boiled where you want, what's the next step here?
Next step is we want to get from the hot side to the cold side, and to get from a boiling temperature down to a fermentation temperature, generally speaking 68 degrees or so for an ale, we have to go through a heat exchanger,
Okay.
which is basically like a big radiator. It has glycol and cold water, or a mixture of those two, going in one direction against all these plates in there, and the hot wort starting at the top going to the other direction. By the time it goes in at boiling, comes out at about 68 degrees.
Wow.
And you control that temperature by the amount of glycol or liquid going in the opposite direction. This time of year when the water's cold,
Right.
it doesn't take that much glycol. In the summertime, the water's
more.
warmer and we use more glycol. But
And then the green tank is oxygen? You put oxygen in there?
pure oxygen is what gives the wort, or gives the yeast that you're going to put in this wort, the start to respirate that yeast and get it ready to reproduce itself and ferment all that beer out.
And your yeast really enjoys the pure
It
oxygen.
loves the pure oxygen.
Yeah. Okay, so Tim, we went from the hot side to now the cool side, the cold side.
Cold.
Cold.
We're talking cold sometimes.
Frigid, even. It's interesting to see a hashtag being used in the real world. Tell me about these fermenters.
These fermenters are where we go from basically the hot side, which is the dead sterile cooking aspect of this process, to the living side. This is where we add the yeast. Yeast is a living being. We add the yeast and keep it at certain temperatures for periods of time, which allow the yeast to convert all those sugars that we produce in the hot side into fermentable, or all the sugars, bring them over here, use them as food, and produce CO2 and alcohol.
And that's going on right now as we speak behind
That's
us.
going on right now in most of these vessels that we're looking at right here, right?
Okay. We've been hot, we've been cold, and now we get conditioned.
We get conditioned. We're basically at the end of the line before we want to bottle or keg anything. In these tanks, we basically keep the beer at a certain temperature so that we can force carbonate it. We add CO2 gas under a certain pressure and
This is where the
temperature.
magic bubbles come in.
This is where the bubbles come in.
Yeah.
This is also where we will add certain things if we're making like a pepper beer or something like that. We'll actually cold infuse things in these vessels.
So you're conditioning it not only with bubbles and fermentation, but you're also adding flavors if needed. And magic. Magic is
Magic
used.
happens here.
I've seen it with my own eyes, people. Coming up on Brewed, uncommon uses for that uncommon stout. Join us inside the kitchen at Barley and Rye, where the chef is cooking up dishes that'll blow your taste buds away. Cooking with wine has been around forever, but cooking with craft beer? Well, I don't know for sure, but I do know one man that seems to have it perfected. He's Chef Jared Lynn. And inside the kitchen at Barley and Rye, he's crafted some uncommon but amazing tastes.
You know, I like to drink uncommon stout and eat bread. You know, two of my favorite things. So
We start with his uncommon stout bread.
it's a wheat bread.
Okay.
It's based with a winter wheat,
Okay.
a white winter wheat,
All right.
and then we add uncommon stout at the beginning. It gives it that coffee, that vanilla, that dark flavor, a little bit of that molasses that everybody really likes.
All right. On to the bread. Chef, show us how you do your magic here. Teach us your magical tricks here with the uncommon stout bread.
Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take some water.
Okay.
We're going to put it in the mixer. And then we're going to take about half of an uncommon stout.
Okay.
We're going to dump it in.
I'm going to ask a very important question. What are you going to do with the other half of that uncommon stout?
I'm going to use it for a surprise later.
All right.
And then I'm going to add the yeast.
All right.
Then we're going to add the flour. We got bread flour.
Okay.
And then we got wheat, which is the one cool thing about this wheat is I get all my grain locally and we grind it all in-house.
Okay.
Flour tends to lose its nutrients after sitting on shelves for long periods of time, but if we do it the day of or the week of, it keeps its vitamins and nutrients. And then we add a little bit of salt. We'll mix it for about 5-10 minutes, and then we'll let it sit in a cooler overnight so that all that beer flavor will get throughout the whole bread. You let it proof, let it double in size, let it get some air into it. If you were to cook it without proofing it, it would be so dense that you wouldn't even be able to, you wouldn't want to eat it.
That light would go into it.
Yeah.
It would be just a black hole of stout bread.
Yep.
That's not what you want.
Nope.
So this has been proofing for, you said, an hour and a half, and now it's time for it to make its journey
Into
the
the
big boy oven.
Into the oven.
All right. And how long are we going to do that for?
About 30-35 minutes at 350 degrees.
350 degrees.
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Let's send these
All
little
right.
fellas on their way. Good luck, guys. Daddy will be waiting for you. Okay, so now, Chef, we are going to caramelize some onions using uncommon stout beer.
Yes, we are. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to do a little bit of oil in a pan.
Okay.
And then we're going to caramelize these onions. These are local onions from Potatoes and More and Bar Potatoes.
Okay.
Onions have a lot of natural sweetness in them, which pairs really good with like the bitterness of the beer. And we'll let these go. These will take anywhere 20 to 25 minutes
Okay.
to let them just go down naturally.
All right. You tell me I can stand here for 20 minutes and smell caramelizing onions?
Yep.
I love you, man. And how much of the uncommon stout did you put in there?
So the other half of the beer that I used for the bread, I
Right.
put in the onions.
That was the secret surprise.
Yep. And if you wanted to add more, you could add more,
Oh, well,
depending
I-
on
you know,
how much.
You're the chef.
The natural sugars of the onion go really nice with that coffee, with that beer, that coffee,
Uh-huh.
and that bitterness. It's really good.
How much of what you do is about balancing those things?
About
How much-
everything in a kitchen is about balancing flavors.
I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but you really could just offer, bowls of this, couldn't
Yes,
you?
I could eat that
Yeah,
by the
no.
bowl.
I mean, maybe that could be a special. How
You
he
could
uses
use
those onions
As many
is
of these
epic.
as you want.
The uncommon onions are mixed with ground buffalo meat, locally bred, of course, then bacon wrapped into a meatloaf? Are you kidding me?
That's it.
Then, to top it all off, Chef Jared churns out a dessert that blows away any death by chocolate.
This is ice cream batter that I made with local eggs, local milk, local cream, a little bit of sugar, and our house-made vanilla extract that we make with local bourbon. I wanted to do this. It took a couple times to be able to get it right, because I think everybody should be able to enjoy it.
So this is an ice cream batter that's going into the ice cream maker.
Yep.
Now, I notice you haven't put that beer in yet.
No, I'll add the beer about right when it starts to churn. I'll add the beer about 2 minutes before it's done. And I found that if you add it at the very end, you get more of that flavor, more of the beer flavor. It is, I don't know if I've ever had an ice cream similar to it. Maybe if I was going to, anything close enough, maybe like a chocolate.
Okay.
Like a really light chocolate ice cream. I've made adult root beer floats with it where I'll take the uncommon ice cream and add it to an uncommon stout as a root beer float. That's incredible.
We're good to go here?
Yeah, try it.
Oh my. Oh my.
Good?
Yeah, no, it's good, Chef. It's good! Oh man.
It's almost caramely almost.
Yeah, it's perfect. From shiny copper kettles to an innovative chef's kitchen, there seems to be no end in sight for Bent River Brewing, a business success brewed from the mug up. I gotta ask the name, Bent River.
There's a legend behind that. It's an Indian legend, and I'm not sure. It must be the local Sauk Indian tribe, I would imagine.
All right.
But I'm not sure.
Okay.
That says that when
We've got fact checkers working hard
Okay,
right now
I
with
bet.
the pop-up bubbles. They'll correct any mistakes you
I
make.
bet that when the Indian maiden was plowing the path for the river to go, starting up in Minnesota,
Right.
at the head of the Mississippi,
I dig.
when she was plowing this path, she was so awestruck with the beauty of this area that she looked over her shoulder and altered the course of the river right here in the Quad Cities.